Our pal.
Oh,
Hi, Ron. What's up, buddy?
Hey, you're live on the air. They asked me to be quiet.
Oh, okay. Welcome to this.
What's going on, man?
Really good, man. Wow, you lost a lot of weight.
You too.
Thank you.
You look fit, dude.
I'm in okay shape. I put some on recently for a little role, but how much have you dropped?
I don't know.
Are you not counting the pounds? You're just kind of like, hey, I feel better, I look better. I'm just going to keep doing it.
I get on the scales from time to time and have it motivate me. I just bought a bunch of new clothes.
You did.
So I got to watch my weight because it's I'll throw a bunch of clothes back in the trash. I just went through my entire wardrobe and either took it to the tailor or gave it to Goodwill.
Yeah, don't keep any
Motivational
fat
clothes?
stuff. Yeah, you got to motivational shit when you
Right.
buy new stuff. Don't
Get
keep
rid
the
of the
fat shit.
Yep, you're right.
This way you can't grow back into it. That one day you're like, oh, I ate 2 burgers last night. You don't want to put on a medium instead of a small. And you're like, oh, fuck.
I saw Bob Kelly yesterday on the street, and he was reminiscing about the leather jackets that he used to be able to fit into.
I wish he was laying there getting medical help. Fucking truck tire in his face. So you've lost weight. What motivated you to lose weight?
Well, I went through a breakup and needed some pussy. And,
That'll do it, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Nobody. I'm 60. Nobody wants to fuck a fat 60-year-old dude.
But you are Ron White. I mean,
Well, yeah, do you find out, like, at first you go, like, well, I'm famous, so it shouldn't be a problem. Then you're like, oh, no, I'm fat and famous. This is a problem.
Right. Well, that's what happened to Weinstein. You know, at first he was just famous enough to get these girls would come bang him, and then I forgot where I was going with this, but then he was just a fat guy and old and gross, and that goes away. When I was 45, when I first started getting to be a big comic, or 50, seemed like it was just thrown at me all the time, and you hit 60, and that shit dries up, man.
because the audience gets older and they get a little bit older, and the ones who loved you back then are now older and married. They just
And
can't
I don't
fuck.
want to fuck them anyway.
You don't.
Not my old fans.
No.
And
No.
my young fans are coming on slowly, but
What's your
Isn't that
age
great
range?
that, like,
Huh?
What's your age range when you're trying to get laid?
me, I maybe 40 to
40.
50, something like that.
Okay.
I really don't. I can't stand to listen to young girls jabber anymore, and I have a girlfriend, so it's and she's cool. So
You broke up in June with the woman you were with.
yes,
How long were you together?
a long time.
More than 5 years?
Yeah.
Long enough that she claimed they were married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did claim
Yeah.
that. That's just probably. I'm thinking that's a monetary motivational thing.
You think?
Yeah, it sounds
Because
like
I haven't
it's-
figured it out yet.
Oh, so am I shedding some light on that with my
Yeah,
insight?
thank you.
And who broke up with who? Was it you or was it her?
It was me, but it's just it kind of run its course, and so there didn't seem to be much in it for me. And she's a hugely talented person, and she's quite capable of getting out there and getting after it like I do. I still do 110 cities a year. And I really, I don't mind working really hard but unless the other person is just going on vacations without me and, stuff like
I
that.
see.
Oh, you
Yeah.
feel like if you're going to put in the effort and make the money and they're going to go on vacations without you, But if someone goes on vacations without you, were they going on vacations where you weren't too sure what they were doing, or was it just with other girlfriends?
Well, I guarantee you not completely positive. But usually other girlfriends, I don't know. I don't know.
But it was more just like, I'm working, and the money that I'm bringing in is just going right out. And
Right.
I'm not even seeing it. There's nothing.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
were you
Yeah.
suspicious? I get very suspicious very fast.
I was never really suspicious, or because she had signed off on the hand jobs for me. So when I was on the road, I'd go, I got a headache. She'd, why don't you get a hand job? You always feel better after a hand job.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And so we weren't really complex that way very much. So I really didn't. I don't know.
You didn't ask. She didn't ask.
Yeah, right.
Would you have been crazy if she was like she hooked up once and you were together, or could you live with that?
I could live with it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a better mentality. That's a much healthier mentality.
The problem with it was that and I've never talked about this on radio, but you're Jim, so.
And nothing you do is weirder than what I've done. So.
Right, yeah, there's nothing, absolutely. You're like a snake fucker or something. You got weird videos.
Snake
dude.
receiver.
You can't keep putting that stuff in your head, man. You can't do it. But it's it was a run for a while, and now it's
What
over.
were you just gonna say? That you say like you don't get suspicious. You could live with it if she had done something.
Yeah. You know, people make mistakes. She did some things, just said some things that were just designed to make me look bad, like she was homeless or all that. You know, that I'd left her with no money, and all these things are not true. And if you wanted to make me look bad, you really don't have to go past the truth. You know,
Right.
he's a philandering dickhead. I'd have gone, nailed it, bingo. Sorry.
But you think that there's no exaggeration necessary to show that you're not a perfect partner.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
Is it tough when you've got a relationship that you're leaving where you do have kind of freedom to do what it is that you need to do, to then find another relationship where somebody's going to be equally as allowing?
Yeah.
You know?
Equally as allowing.
Yeah.
Wow, what a sentence, dude. I like that. That's
Thank
fancy.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Fancy Talk.
Absolutely.
I use
He's
my
very
words.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. You know, Allison is the girl I'm seeing now, and she's a spine surgeon. And so, you know, real busy, and, you know, can't really, you know, she travels some. She doesn't work every day, but she, you know, tries to keep up with me. But it's, and then she's also a, you know, big time athlete. She's almost as old as me, and but she was a 100-meter hurdler for the Canadian national team when she was young. Still stays in ridiculous shape.
Right.
So you don't like people that aren't busy?
I don't know.
Like, it gets
I don't know
annoying
what
to be around.
Sometimes I get annoyed when people are too busy to hang with me.
Yeah, when you want to bring someone on the road, like, I'm
Yeah.
going to a cool city. Can you come?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I got to work. And you want to go, your shit job. Do you know how much money I make in my job? Come with me.
Right? Yeah. But I really can't do that with
Can't say
her
that.
because she's a surgeon and she makes a lot of money. So, you know, you take what you get. So.
Let me ask you, too. You said, or I've read, I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe you didn't say this. Was it true you did not want to get married without a prenup, which I think is an extremely smart way to be?
Not only did I say that, I didn't get married without a prenup. So, and we were going to, you know, we'd planned this big, huge wedding in Dallas that I don't know if she spent $250,000 on, if she spent a nickel of it. And I was pissed then, still pissed about that wedding. And the way she got me to agree to it, she said, well, I'll sign a prenup so I'll just, you know, recognize all the things that have happened before I got here.
Sure.
Which is a bunch.
Yeah.
And, but when it came down to it, you know, they were stalled, and her lawyer and my lawyer, and then it got to where it was too close to the date for it to be valid. And
How close to the day? I heard with them, you should be a month out.
I think a couple of weeks, but this got to within 6 or 7 days, and then it was going to be completely void.
Because then she signed under duress. Then they could challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, well, I thought I would marry her, you know, because she said, well, then we'll just, you know, we'll have this ceremony thing. It's a party. People came from all over the world, and all over the world. She toured Europe, had a lot of friends over there. So I genuinely thought I would marry her at that time. I'm deeply in love with her, and but we just never did it. I mean, it was always there to sign. Her lawyer approved it. My lawyer approved it. She just never did it. And it turns out in California that matters. Because I just assumed, you know, I'm screwed here. But it turns out I probably am anyway. But there is no common law in California. So you can live with somebody 100 years. And if you don't have a contract with them, then if you do, you're done. But if you don't, doesn't matter. You're not married to them. It's And the same in Georgia, but not Texas. So what she's claiming is that we spent so much time in Texas visiting our family and performing, that makes us married in Texas.
So the prenup was there, and basically that stalling by the lawyer was probably to get it in that red zone so it could be challenged later. Well, they signed a week before the wedding. She was under duress, and they a lot of times will get flipped. That was just a lawyer.
I can't imagine that he wouldn't know that.
Yeah, if I know it, and I dropped out of high school, and I'm a confused sexual person,
Right.
he knows it.
Yeah, right.
And the lawyers, you know, it's because you have to provide the lawyer for her. You have to have someone look at it. Let her have a legal person look at it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, were you resentful of her coming back and going, "No, I want this," and "No, I want that," or did you go, "No, it's a part of the process"?
No, I was annoyed. I was annoyed by it, but it is part of the process. You know, it's she still felt scorned and for whatever reason, and in fact, I think she's playing the cutting room in New York this weekend. Go see her. She's amazing.
And and Ron, by the way, is playing tomorrow night at the Beacon Theater. Ron, just one of the funniest guys in the world.
Yeah.
And he's going to be in Hershey, in Washington D.C., all big theaters. You can go to Ron_White on Twitter or Tater Salad, TATER salad.com for Ron's dates. Yeah, it's really interesting what goes on because I'm not married. I've thought about it, but I'm like, I would absolutely have a prenup. I would have to.
Well, you're big successful guy, so yeah, you should. I mean, if you don't, I made the mistake right before when I first started seeing her. She was deposed in my divorce to a woman I really did marry, who I was married for 3.5 years, no kids, and she walked away with $4.25 million in cash and prizes.
Wow.
And
After 3.5 years.
3.5 years.
What state?
Georgia, but I married her. And there was at that point in the relationship, I'm like, there's no way she would do this. She would never attack me, and just she understands that I already made this. But and the first time she ever saw me, I wasn't rich,
Sure,
but I was on stage at the Fox with the blue collar guys. So it was, she had nothing to do with it. It just happened when in that period of time that I was with her.
But it's amazing. Like a lawyer gets in someone's head and they're resentful. Once you get an angry partner, you're fucked.
Even a mother-in-law. Like the in-laws, the family starts coming in and going like, no, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be treating you like
He
this.
cheated on you.
He cheated on you. That you're entitled to that.
You deserve every dime of it.
He wouldn't have gotten there. I know it was already set up, but he wouldn't have gotten there without your support.
Right. Well, I offered her every dime I'll make next year, and she said no.
Wait, this is the one now.
Yeah.
Every dime, I would eat Ron's ass for every dime he made next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
How about half? You make
half.
Ron White, unless she doesn't follow Ron's career, makes a tremendous amount of money. He does great gigs. You do fucking nothing but theaters.
Why did she say no to that?
It wasn't enough.
Wow.
Ron wants, she wants more. I mean, again, it's always, that's the lawyer. The two lawyers are closer to each other than they are to their clients.
Absolutely. During the last divorce, I was... somebody asked me, I bet you hate your wife's divorce lawyer. I'm like, I hate mine. I told my divorce lawyer at the divorce hearings, I said, if your kids are going to grow up to be divorce lawyers, you should go home right now, take them upstairs, fill up the bathtub, and fucking drown them. And make the world a better place to be with 2 less divorce lawyers.
Because when the lawyer complains to you, your lawyer will complain and go, oh boy, her lawyer's being a prick. Meanwhile, he loves that guy because he's keeping it going, and that guy loves him.
Oh, my divorce lawyer, the last marriage, she admired this guy because he fucked so many people out of money. And she openly admired him. He had written a couple of books. He died the other day. I laughed so fucking hard. So I did. As soon as I found out he died, I called his office. I said, I'd like to speak to John Mayhew, please. and the lady goes, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but Mr. Mayhew passed away. And I said, oh, okay. And I call her right back and said, I'd like to speak to John Mayhew, please. She goes, I just told you Mr. Mayhew passed away. And I'm like, I know. I just like hearing you say it.
That is funny.
How long were you in the relationship for it, this last one?
8 or I don't know where the lines were. We lived apart. She had an apartment the whole time we lived together. So.
It was a back and forth. It was one of those things where you're dating and then you're just kind of casual, and then you're dating and she's got her own place. So you're not exactly sure where it begins and when it becomes official.
But eventually, we lived together as a couple in Southern California, which is
for how long?
7 years,
something like that.
But is the fact that there was no contract, but the contract was approved by both, does that mean that she was ready to sign it? Or is that in your favor?
It's in my favor because she has notes on it of what she wants to change and on one copy of it. So I don't even.
Okay.
It should be no case at all, but the way it is now, you can still sue me. And their whole goal is to she asked for $81,000 a month spousal support.
That's fair. $800,000 and $960,000 a year, whatever it is. That's fair.
Yeah. That sounded good to me. I was like, I'll take it. You go do the work. I'll just skim off the top of it, the profits, and live like a, So, but they just wanted me to say, here's a whole bunch of money,
right?
Because we're coming after you. And I'm like, well,
$81,000 a month for how long?
I never heard.
Could be
A month?
Yeah,
That's fine.
If
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
have been a month, I would have been all over it. If it had been a year, I'd have done it.
But they ask for too much, hoping you'll just settle and say, all right, go
Right.
away.
Yeah, just go away.
Because at least you won't have to pay for her lawyer. Oh, that's right. You probably will.
Yeah, I will.
You'll have to pay for her lawyer. That'd be
I
part of the
can't
settlement.
imagine
Although you're not
writing-
married, maybe not.
writing a monthly check for $81,000. Just like, here you go. Here you go.
Well,
Just for the foreseeable future.
When I was a club headliner, that was a year's pay,
Right.
And that's a hard working guy's pay for doing funny bones and stuff, and so yeah, that was a little difficult. I think ultimately, that we'll get past it because, her brother is my partner in the tequila company, and
So you still have a relationship with her family.
with her family, who I've known for 30 years.
And you like them.
I do.
Does it
I really
did it
do.
complicate things though with her brother?
Of course,
Especially when it hits
because he loves her. I
TMZ
mean, they're,
and-
they're, very, very close. And but he also, he and I've been, the first time I ever walked into a comedy club, I went straight to the bar and ordered a beer and a shot of tequila, and he handed it to me. So he was the bartender in the club I started at.
So you have a real history with this guy, too.
right.
You
30
can't just write him
31
off.
years. Well, and then we're partners in this tequila company. So and then but we totally have gotten past it. And he's kind of helped mediate, and it's still got to be mediated. I want to do something fair, but I want it to be fair to me also.
Sure.
Right,
But there's a possibility to reach her as opposed to other people who get divorced where it's two people almost like like North and South Korea with just nothing but lawyers in between them. You might have a bridge where there's some human contact.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I think
good.
And that's what I want. It's when I heard she was working the cutting room, my first response to it was, "Oh, I can help her promote." Oh, yeah, she's suing me. So I can't really muster up a lot of hate and hold on to it, for what, and that's good,
Yeah,
So,
especially if you moved on. And how did you meet the person you're with now? How did you meet the surgeon?
I was playing golf with her and her husband,
Uh-oh.
and that
Like all good love
relationship
stories.
didn't make any sense to me.
It didn't.
And
Did you point that out?
Yeah,
You made
yeah, because she's real pretty. She's 5'10", big gray shape. He's a little short, plump, bald dude, and I'm like, well, maybe he looked great, back in the day, but it just, then she and I really enjoyed each other's company, and she's a really good golfer, and he's horrible, and so we, well, I'm going to be up here on Wednesday. And so, without telling anybody else, so she and I started playing a little more golf, and then one day I found the code for the bathroom door, and
Sure.
What a nightmare for the husband.
Awesome. I know. Have a guy with his own tour bus. I
Yeah.
go, oh, no.
Yeah. And then you go and you play golf and you realize he's a better golfer than me too.
right, a lot.
Much better.
And you make her laugh.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
make
and she makes me laugh too, and not a lot of women that recently have been making
Sure.
me laugh.
But she couldn't have been terribly happy in this relationship.
No,
Stop and leave. I mean, I
no,
wouldn't-
she wasn't, and her and her husband are really, really good friends to this day. So he didn't sue her for alimony, which he could have, and she's also an inventor. She invented this unbelievable idea. So she has these assets and things. So she's not, she's not looking at me for a ride. And,
She's got her own thing.
yeah.
And she's happy to be with you, and she's got her own way out where she doesn't need you. She's got
Right.
her own life.
Oh, absolutely.
Are,
So,
are you a good boyfriend? I'm kind of a shitty boyfriend. Are you good at it when you're in a relationship?
You've been a good boyfriend, Jim.
At times I have. Oh,
yeah.
Sam.
I think I'm a look. If you get me, you get hair, teeth, dick, and money. Okay, so
That's all I want from a woman.
So and there's also downside because I'm moody and my I was ready to I was ready to come up hard at the seams on the way over here. I hate the hotel they put me in. It's awful. It's the littlest hotel room I've ever seen, and it's like a joke. And I smuggled my dog in. And so
What kind of dog is it?
It's a 4-month-old French bulldog puppy.
Oh,
Oh.
my God.
It's
That's
just
got to be adorable.
Eat up with cute.
Yeah.
Eat up with cute.
Where is it?
I don't even know the name of the hotel. I left this morning. Nobody told me it was going to be a half hour to get over here, and it's nowhere near the Beacon, but it's where the party is for the comedy festival tonight. So whatever.
Is there a party tonight?
Yeah,
I
nobody
wasn't
told
invited.
you. Yeah, right.
Well, you're not performing for the comedy festival, are you?
It's funny. Saturday night I am, yeah.
But you weren't invited to the party.
Well,
Okay.
let me go ahead and extend the invitation.
I'd love to, Ron. I can't
That's my
though.
date.
I would love to go. Please, I would love to. I'll claim marriage and try to fucking get a few dollars out of you.
Yeah,
I want
right.
that Ron White bank.
Yeah.
So you're
Make sure you get photos taken of the two of you
wait,
together.
hair, teeth, dick, and
And money. Hair, teeth, dick, and money.
But the moodiness I get, like all of a sudden, like you know how it is. For years, you're doing gigs, you're making shit money, you're opening, you're middling, $500 for the week or $300 for the week in travel, and then you start making real money and you appreciate it, and you're like, oh God, I'm a cunt. I want a hotel room with feather pillows. You start having these things that you require.
Yeah, well, I need something bigger than it literally, if it's 200 square feet, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
It's just the tiniest thing. But once you get in it and get in the bed and the way the TV's laid out, very, very, very comfortable. But it's just a little storage facility. And you really can't explain to millennials why things are a bad idea because they'll just roll their eyes and make you want to, how about that idea? So
or they'll feel like they're being attacked. Like, why are you attacking me?
Yeah, nobody. But why is it? Why everyone's working in this room?
Yeah,
it's like it's not socialism. I've been doing this for 31 years.
Are
It's
you
like-
mad at? Are you mad at me?
I did this thing. I went to. I was playing this new casino in Tulsa, and I just played Southern Hills, which is a beast of a golf course, and it was hot. So I come back and and also I need to pee. Very important. I needed to pee on the 16th hole, but it's not that kind of golf course that you'll just pull your wank out and start peeing. So they take us back. We get caught in traffic. I need to pee, and I want a massage. And when they take us into the building, the massage thing's right there. So I just started, let me ask them. I said, I need a massage, and my back's killing me. And she goes, we have one in 8 minutes. And that's the only one available all day. And I'm like, oh, do you have a shower here? Because I was really stinky. And they go, yeah, we got a shower. And so, but she couldn't go in there. And then she goes, well, there was a big water leak, and there's a construction crew in there. And I'm like, I don't care. I just need to pee, and get my shower and get a massage. So I go in there, and the construction crew is right by the toilets. So I go around and find my locker, take all my clothes off, put on my robe, put on my shoes, and go over and find the showers. And there's a little like a little place to undress, and then another little curtain, and then you go into your shower. So I take my clothes back off and go in there, and there's a computer screen. And I'm like, no, what? A computer screen? No knobs, no nothing, just a computer screen. And I can't really see it, and I push the screen, and it kind of lights up, and then I push it, nothing happens. I'm like, God damn. So I put back my robe on, put my shoes back on, go back over to my locker, get my fucking reading glasses, and walk back over there, and then now I can see it, and after I did all that shit, you could change the lighting in it. And I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do in here? I jack off in the dark. I don't need lighting. And then the lady goes, well, how was it? And this little young millennial girl, and I said, well, here's what you ought to do. You ought to have a knob that you turn, and maybe a thing that says probably right around here. And and then I want a shampoo bottle that says fucking shampoo, biggest print on it, only print on it. I don't even care what kind it is. I don't, or say this, be sure to take your reading glasses to the shower with you because you're going to need them. They didn't even do that.
Did you figure the shower out?
Yeah, I figured it out. I just couldn't, but I had to go back and while I was trying to figure it out to begin with, I wasn't going to just pee without the shower running. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's creepy.
baking,
How was your shower? How was the massage?
Resort massage, pure crap.
All right, now are you a guy when you're getting a massage who will push the hips back a little bit, just kind of hoping a finger kind of brushes the back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Once in a while, you get lucky.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Once in a while, but the resorts never. Resorts are tough. Those are tough.
Have you ever tried that, Jim?
I have. Not in a long time, believe it or not, but in a resort, it's a very tough place.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they tend to dress like fucking ER surgeons. They have on the scrubs and,
They're never hot. And they touch you clinically.
clinically.
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell like when the massage starts?
Yes.
If they're touching you a certain way,
And how
that
they
it's just
wrap
not
you.
going to happen?
Yeah, they'll get a linger finger brushing. They'll give you a little clue. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, you respond a lot of times to a clue, but when they wrap you and they're like lift up and they mummy wrap your legs, you're like, forget
yeah, right.
it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
She doesn't want to see my ugly dick and balls at all. She wants no part of my dick and balls.
Absolutely does not.
So when you golf, are you always like out with other people, or you just go by yourself?
Well, we play on the road, so my crew plays, and we usually, I'll take the bus, and I wake up at a golf course like I was FedExed. I just crawl out of it. Here's the golf course.
You bought your own bus, or do you just lease it?
No, I bought it.
You did buy
10
it.
years ago. I had it built by the guy that drives it. My bus driver built it.
That's a lot of overhead. I mean, the bus, the upkeep, the paying this guy, and the insurance. Is it still cheaper than flying first class everywhere and getting hotels?
Oh God, no,
No, it's not.
no, it's not. I have a plane too, so that's mine.
That's helpful.
And it takes the sting out of travel. So my overhead is ridiculously high. So I have to, I do work a lot to, to make it all happen. But I really looked at it as two separate jobs. One of them, you make more money. The other one, you have a life worth living. Because you can't, number one, you can't hit all the markets that I hit without a bus and a plane almost.
Sure.
I mean, I was doing 140 cities a year a few years back.
How many this year? Or how many?
110.
Okay. So to do that, so the amount the plane costs, you're doing probably an extra 30 cities because you can get to the gig and you can be human
Absolutely.
and perform.
Yeah, and you also get a jet.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that was I think that was the tipping factor.
To get the jet.
Yeah.
How big is your plane? I've heard all different. I've only been on one private plane in my life.
7 passengers and a bathroom. So
The bathroom's in the back, right? In the
Yeah.
very. And you put a seat over the toilet. The one I was in.
you can. We
Is it-
never have, but it's actually I really discourage people from going to the bathroom with my plane because it just goes into a thing that somebody's got to take out of there. So it's full of blankets and pillows and golf clubs and stuff.
Oh, the toilet.
Yeah.
So you can't piss in your.
You can if it's a real, emergency. Oh, there's the plane right there on the thing.
Oh wow, that's a nice. But I would need to piss a lot. Now, what's the longest flight? When you're flying cross country, will you take your plane or will you fly commercial because it's more comfortable?
If logistically I'm moving the plane somewhere, I'll take the plane, but it's way more comfortable to fly first class cross country.
Than it is on a plane, yeah. Because it was nice, and I did it one time. We did Oddball. There was like 7 comedians going
I was
from
going
New
to
York.
ask whose plane was it.
It was because I was with Amy and Aziz.
Oh, I
and
see.
they flew. They were the two, like the headliner and the co-headliner for Oddball a few years ago. So I just went up, and I think coming home was all of us and Big J Okerson, but there was a shitload of us that went up. But it's like a tiny little plane. There's that one little room in the back to piss. But I'm like, I wouldn't like this cross country. I like this for convenience and the idea of it.
Yeah.
But, if you get in a giant fucking lay flat seat.
Yeah, right. No, that's way better. Way, way better.
But this, to have your own plane, how much does a plane cost? A plane of that size, which is not the biggest you can get, is that more than $5 million?
Well, new it would be more than 10, but but I bought it. My plane is old. It's built in Israel in 1980. It's West Wind 1's what it's called, and right now the plane itself has almost no value at all. Even though it's a perfect plane.
Because of the age and the amount of miles.
And financing, So unless somebody's walking around with that much cash in their pocket.
Sure.
And it's also not for sale. So so it really doesn't matter.
But so if you do something like that, sorry, Ron, would you have to, because it's an older plane, you put a lot of the money probably just goes into the maintenance and the upkeep and making sure that the parts work.
Yeah. I paid for it. I think it was $1.6 million when I bought it.
Okay.
never
Which
wanted
is
to-
really inexpensive for that kind of.
That's not crazy for your own
transportation.
fucking plane. That's not a crazy.
But it's the maintenance and the
And the pilots
At the
and-
time, it was costing $7,000 to fill it up with gas, but it goes coast to coast, so it's a long range plane with big cargo holds, and it was really preferred by drug smugglers. And,
That's great.
because of it would just go so far and hold so much, and
That's the Bobby Seale. Is that his name? Bobby Seale. Who's the guy that was that Tom Cruise just played in the fucking movie?
Oh, yeah, no, I don't remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Barry Seal. Barry Seal.
Mary Seal.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
the type of stuff they would probably go from Colombia to the States with.
You never wanted to put your name or your face or anything like that on the plane?
It says Tater Air and these gold letters on the side, and then it's got a. That's not it. It's above that. It's the that one. There. That's it. So it's got a pirate ship on the back. I did the
that's
paint
nice.
job. It's got a skull
really
and crossbones on the bottom of it, and I told my wife at the time, as I said, I'm going to put a skull and crossbones on the bottom of the plane, and she goes, "You shouldn't do that." And I said, why not? She goes, that's like saying fuck the universe. I said, well, you're going to hate my other idea, which was to write fuck the universe right underneath the skull and crossbones.
So you, the first time, have you had any like moments in the plane where you're like, oh fuck, there's a little engine trouble or something?
We got in a really bad storm one time, and we got hit by lightning about 25 times, and it lit up the wings of the plane, and we were somewhere we shouldn't have been. And me and my road manager at the time, Steve Cook, were on it, and it was just us in the back going, this isn't good, and it shorted some stuff out, but the plane's pretty much designed, I guess, to get hit by lightning.
Yeah, planes do probably get hit by it a lot, right?
I guess. I don't know, but I'd never seen it happen before.
Crazy.
And it was just so obviously hitting us over and over and over. I'm like, I wonder how long we can take this.
Yeah, you're like, lightning is never supposed to strike twice. We just
Yeah,
get just
boom.
struck 25 times.
Yeah,
right.
Although you'd expect it, you're a hunk of metal in the clouds. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to attract some attention up there.
What did the pilots say? Like, the one good thing is you have access to the pilots. You can just go, hey, what's going on up there, Frank? Like, so did you ask them and they were like, it's normal, we're fine? Were they nervous or they were just like, whatever?
I don't know. We were smoking weed and drinking hard, man. We were chasing the buzz. Take the sting out of it.
How long was it bad?
Man, I don't even know. Probably 40 minutes or something.
That's a long 40, though.
Yeah, well, it was edgy, really edgy. And outside of that, these planes are so overpowered for what they do, so they don't crash.
Sure.
They're literally. You haven't heard of a private jet going down since Payne Stewart died, and
That's right.
That was that was operator error.
What happened with that? Because I think the cabin pressure they lost, they all basically froze to death, or the cabin pressure they just kind of sat there. They were frozen. The plane just kept going. They either shot the plane down or they just let it crash in the ocean.
It ran out of gas and landed somewhere up around Michigan.
Okay.
But what happened was he put these fish that he was taking that he caught, and they were packed in dry ice, and you can't be confined with dry ice, and that's what put him to sleep.
Is that what happened?
And then they just slept till it ran out of gas. And
Wow.
I heard they were all. Oh, so the dry ice put everyone on the plane to sleep.
You wouldn't freeze them but yeah.
It wasn't a plane issue.
no.
So they weren't frozen on the plane. For some reason, I thought they said because they had a plane flying next to Payne Stewart's plane.
The windows were fogged.
Why were
on
they?
it. I don't know the exact answer to any of these questions,
Okay.
but that's all
But they were
purely speculative. That might not even be true.
Okay, no, but I heard that they were all asleep, so they didn't
Yeah.
suffer. They just fucking
No, not at all. They just like, ugh.
they just kind of passed
And
out. How cool is
then-
it the first time you get on your own fucking plane? That's gotta be pretty amazing.
I used to use it so much, and I would always have the bus pull up to the airport, and I'd land the plane, get on, big showy stuff, and then. But I liked it. I never sat around envisioning any of this kind of shit happening to me.
Sure.
So even when it happened to Foxworthy, I didn't even spend 1 second going, well, I'm probably going to be a huge comic someday. I liked being a club headliner, and then we did some stuff like that. But I really never sat around thinking about this is what I'm driven to do. I want to be a successful, rich, comic. But it happened anyway, and so and it's been going on for quite a while. I mean, I'm 31 years in the business, and which is a pretty good stint, and then in theaters for 15 years. So.
And Ron is the guy that the comedians talk about. Like of all the guys, I mean, everyone knows Foxworthy and Langvall and Larry, of course. You're the guy though, because it's like he bought a fucking bus. Like that's what people were talking about was some comedian. The fucking Ron White bought a bus. Like no one could believe you bought the bus. Like that's like a rock star's way to live.
Yeah. Well, I knew I wanted it. It's 'cause they were charging $17,000 a month to rent them, and plus your driver, and at $350 a day, plus it probably cost $1 a mile to move it, and so. I just started looking and found a guy that was really good at it and that built it for me. He still owns the bus company, but he just runs the road with me playing golf.
What did you want on it that normally wouldn't have come on a bus like that?
I had a kind of a minimalist approach to it because I saw all these buses that were $2 million and that had there's all kinds of things I knew I would never use, like any kind of stove at all.
Right.
So my bus was pretty more closer to like $850.
Okay, so you didn't.
And Larry's bus is $2.5 million.
Wait, Larry owns a bus too?
Oh, good Lord! Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what does his bus have that yours doesn't?
50 televisions and in a pull-out barbecue grill that swings out of the bay. and
You gotta live the gimmick, man.
It's really and it's nice. I mean, I was jealous. It's a quadruple slide out, so it gets huge. It's got a huge TV that drops down from the ceiling, and so it's beautiful. It's
a $2.5 million bus.
I was a little jealous, and then I was like, and oddly enough, I don't have 2-foot-itis, so. When I see a really, really nice plane, I don't wish it was mine because I know what it costs to operate, what it costs to buy it, what it costs to put pilots on it. And so I love my plane specifically because it was a good choice.
What's 2-foot-itis?
It's if your boat, you have a boat and you just see another boat 2 foot longer and your boat's no good anymore.
You wish you had.
Right.
That's a great thing to not have because around people who have planes and there's always going to be somebody.
I'm nobody. I guarantee you, I'm the poorest guy in my neighborhood. And people squander bigger fortunes than mine every goddamn day. And so I really don't have this illusion that things could have been a little better or should have been better. But I'm so goddamn lucky. It's just ridiculous.
How is Bill Engvall? Bill's the guy I know. I don't know Jeff. I've met Jeff once. I don't know him. I think he came in once on Opie and Anthony or Jim and Opie for like a 5-minute thing. Is Engvall still touring?
Yeah. Bill still does some dates, and Jeff does too. I don't know what Dan's up to these days. But they all work, and none of them have to.
But are you and Larry the two guys that are mostly on the road, that enjoy the road the most?
I think it's mostly me. I don't think he's really doing that much. I don't know that, but I really don't see it.
commercials or whatever. He's got his things.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. What a perfect fit, Prilosec and Larry the Cable Guy. And it was genius. It really was. And and they listened to him. That fan base of his is huge still.
Well, they love you too, though.
Yeah, there's a difference in the fan base because we did a couple of shows together that was called the No Collar Comedy Tour or something after Blue Collar.
Sure.
We were going to try to do, and it worked hugely. And I would close some of them, and he would close some of them. But the ones I closed, his super fans that come dressed like him and all that stuff, as soon as I got on stage, they would just...
Really?
Wow.
He was hard to follow in an arena.
Yeah, I mean, his fans were so in love with him. I mean, it's just this unexplainable. Well, not unexplainable. He's a really good pace, rhythm, and timing comic, and they love him. But my fans don't hate him. I mean, these guys were just flat offended when he left the stage, and then so I got to where I was like, "Listen, you close them all. I don't care."
Yeah.
And then I don't have to look at the powders down there.
Absolutely. I did the same thing when I co-headlined with David Tell. We split the money. We're supposed to flip flop. But he was late for Boston one time. You've never seen anyone jump on stage faster on time. Well, Dave, you're late.